Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our call for tonight. And not sure, look like I don't know if I booted some people off of here accidentally or not. But as you were coming in, good to see you. And I will probably keep you about 30 minutes at the maximum. And I'm not going to have a lot of time for questions, but if you have any questions, you can send them to me by support. And what I do want to talk about is some things that in creating the course for ChatGPT that we kind of discovered this weekend. And I tried not to overlap any of the previous courses. And so that narrowed the path of things that I was going to cover. And there are some things that ChatGPT does that are different than it used to do before. And there's some things that if you ask it what it will do, it'll promise you can do some things, and it really can't do those things. I'll talk about a few of those things here tonight. And if you don't have our new ChatGPT course, you can get it at theplrshow.com/TNMWU4. Now, the course has unrestricted rights, so there are no limitations on how you can use it, and it's part of our unrestricted rights series. So you can pick that up today for a few more days at the launch price there at theplrshow.com/TNMWU4. And you can also get it. And I'll have a URL here at the end. So let's talk about some things about ChatGPT. One thing that you'll notice if you have search is that it's really designed, I think, to reduce on some hallucinations. So when you use a chat bot, it sometimes will make up an answer. It won't necessarily go out to the web and try to pull in and try to synthesize the information. So what ChatGPT search does, when you combine it with your regular query, then it goes out to see if what it's saying is correct based on current information on the web. Now, it still gets some things wrong, but it reduces the number of things it gets wrong dramatically. And it will not go out and go and get false things and just make things up. Search gives it some limitations. Search gives it some parameters that it can only say certain things based on what is true and factual on the web. Now, it doesn't mean that everything that's going to produce is going to be true, because not everything on the web is true. But in general, the search parameter will sometimes work, and I covered this in the course, even when you don't enable it. You can go in and enable search to make it a search engine so that all you're doing is you're looking for something in ChatGPT just like you would use a search engine. In other cases, you may not even have search enabled, and you will go and you will search for something. And what will happen is it'll automatically add search to it to refine your results. And you may or may not have gone through Google Gemini, and or if you've done Google Google enabled search, and sometimes it does AI powered overviews, other times it does not. And in the creation of this course, I just determined or just found that actually Google's AI powered search only works when Google deems it necessary. So you can't trigger it. And I tried a bunch of times and a bunch of things I could do to trigger the AI empowered search, but it only works in Google when Google determines that that's what it needs to do. So, and I think ChatGPT search is kind of the opposite. You can turn it on anytime you want. And what it'll do is sometimes it will add itself to your regular AI query. So if you go to the AI and you're asking the AI to give you some information back, sometimes what ChatGPT will do is it will add on that search parameter. And so again, all that does is going to be good because it reduces the number of things the ChatGPT just makes up out of thin air. And you may have even had that happen to you, where you're kind of looking at something, you're thinking, that's not really quite right. And so they've kind of made sure that some of these things happen automatically. When it comes to ChatGPT Canvas, now again, I covered this in the PLR course. I did cover it even more in the upgrade course. You can only make suggested edits once. So when you open up ChatGPT Canvas, there's a panel on the right side, and ChatGPT will suggest edits based on the draft it created. So it'll give it a good look at once over, and it'll take 5 things that it thinks that you should do with this document, and it'll give you the choice as to whether or not you want to make them or not. Now, once you do that, and you go through some other operations in ChatGPT Canvas, you can't go back and redo those suggested edits unless you open up a different conversation. And it's a little weird, and this may not make sense until you really get in with ChatGPT Canvas and you try to create something, and then you go to the right side panel and then you make edits. Once you make those edits, that's the last that you'll be able to do in that conversation. Now, one thing that I found that was interesting is, and I did this a few times, I did it maybe once in the basic course. I did this multiple times in the upgrade course, and that is we can output the content that ChatGPT gives us in some other formats. Now, I did test whether or not you could output the content in MP3. It's not quite there yet. It can read the information. You've probably seen that, some people have turned on. I even saw a YouTube video where a gentleman was sharing the fact that ChatGPT will read your audio aloud when it gives you an answer. I did check with them, or I checked with the chatbot, and those things are made for personal use only. So they're not made for commercial use for you to take that voice off of ChatGPT. It's really only to make your search experience easier. Having said all that, you can output what you get from ChatGPT into different elements. One thing you can do is, and I covered this in the course, both in the basic and the advanced course, that you can output direct to Word. And maybe I should have known that, but until I tested it, and again, I have not really read all of the most recent directions. I've kind of got and been able to play with some things. And so because I use this so extensively every day, right, just in trying to figure out what I should be doing in terms of teaching it, you can take whatever you put together in ChatGPT and you can ask the chatbot to put it in a formatted Microsoft Word document. Now, you may not use Microsoft Word. And again, I tried to do this with Google Docs. So I tried to say, well, can you output this as a Google Doc? It could not right now. I'm guessing eventually it will, because it eventually is going to have vision, what I think. And I think that's part of what it will do in the future. But having said all that, whatever you produce, let's say that you are using it to produce the first part of an essay, and you're going to have to go in and make some edits, and you're going to put it in a word processing document. Well, what you can do is you can ask the chatbot to give it to you, everything you just produced in a document, right? And it'll give you a document to download. You can also do, and I did this a couple of different times, you can output things as a PowerPoint presentation. So you don't just have to create written documents. For example, if you can create visuals, let's say you put a video up there, you upload the video, and what you're going to do is you will take PNG slides or PNG shots of different points in that video. And then what you want to do is you want to put those slides into, you want to put those PNG files into slides. ChatGPT will do all that for you. Again, that's something that I covered in the course, and I just think it's pretty cool to see it happen, and it happens pretty consistently. So sometimes you will try something in ChatGPT. Like there have been times when I have uploaded an audio and I have asked ChatGPT to transcribe the whole thing. It'll do it without question. Other times, like this last week, I've uploaded audios, asked ChatGPT to transcribe, and it would not. So some of these things can be wonky. And some of these things it won't do all the time, but just about every time I asked it to produce something, a document in Word and a document in PowerPoint, it did it. So again, you'll see me do this. And again, there's a bit of a process to get it into a PowerPoint. And so I'm not covering that whole process here. I'm just telling you, you can do it. Now, something that I was not able to get to work consistently, but I did get to work, was creating an MP3 or creating an MP4. So what I did with the file extractions, I uploaded an MP3 and I put a still image, uploaded that also. And what I did was I said, okay, now you've got a still image, you've got an audio. Now what I want you to do is I want you to turn this into a video. So that's what I asked it to do. And when it returned the video, it produced a video. I downloaded it and then it said that it was coded wrong and there was some encoding issues. And I decided not to pursue that because I was able to produce that same error multiple times. Now I may go back and see if I can reproduce the error to see if that was maybe it was just that day that it worked like that. But in effect, ChatGPT does have the capability, and it might even also have the capability of doing more than a still image. I took one image, one audio, and created a video from it. Now, it is an AI, so you don't have to worry about it, you know, you know, uh, being upset at you for trying things. It doesn't care. It's a machine. So, you don't have to treat it like a human being, like, oh, I'm not going to try this because it might be, might not want to do it. It doesn't care, right? It's a thing. And so, uh, what you may want to try is you may want to have multiple PNG files, and then you want to take those PNG files and turn them into a slideshow and then put the audio with it. I have not tried that yet, but that's something that you could try. And now I will say again, this did not work consistently. So sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. And so I don't know how many people are really trying it. I did it. I was able to reduce it. In other cases, I was not. No matter how hard I tried to reproduce it, in some cases, it only worked once and did not work again. One thing that and I've covered this in another course, and I think it's pretty neat that you can take an MP4 video. Now, let's say that you've got one of our videos, and what you're doing is you're trying to capture one point in the video where there's movement, right? Because a GIF is only cool when your customer can see something moving there. And you can actually extract out a GIF from your video, and you can get ChatGPT to do the whole process. Again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I went through that in the course. You'll be able to see it and see it done. And there's no magic to the prompt. You just got to know what you want. And so when you don't get it, you go back and you iterate to see if you can do it again. Right. And let's see. ChatGPT text to voice. And I think I said this already, and I'm going to say it again, that when you get ChatGPT to read aloud, that is for your use and it's not for commercial use. Now, I don't think they're going to come after you if you record it. I don't think that they have the will or the capacity to make an issue of it, with a lawyer and all those things. That does not necessarily mean that it's right to do. And they basically said, according to their terms of service, that when they produce this audio, it's theirs. It's not for us to use. So just so you know, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't. I'm saying I'm not going to use it just based on that. And if you're trying to stay within their terms of service, whether or not you get caught or not, you want to stay in this bounds and you don't use their audio. Now, eventually, they probably will. That this proves they have the capability to do it. You can then take your output from ChatGPT and you'll be able to create an audio eventually. So they have the ability to do it, but for whatever reason, they have not released that part of it, and it will eventually be coming. All right, let's see. How am I on time? See, how am I on time? Okay, we're good on time. Any questions so far? Right? If not, I'm gonna keep on going. Um, I think I did this already. I think I meant to do meant to okay. So this is just a repeat. That's a repeat there. So okay, I think that's it. I meant to do more, but I didn't. So I'm gonna skip through this. And just so you'll know, if you are watching, depending on where you're seeing it, I am going to put together a bonus for Sajan's thing. And he's got this Christian theme content thing. And I'm thinking I'm going to put together something like the Christian, you know, view of information marketing. I may do that for my for your bonus. You use as a bonus. You're going to sell Sanjan stuff. I don't have a bonus page set up there, so if you're watching this right now, you can go there and get it. I will eventually set up my bonus page. Now, for the bonuses that I have set up for um, our Chat and GPT PLR unrestricted rights course, you can see the bonuses on this page. So if you go to the plrshow.com/for now, I listed out the bonuses. So yeah, I didn't display them, but you'll see that I've broken them out. And they're kind of limited time. I will probably pull them before the launch. And but I do want to give people the opportunity to see it and get it. So if you're going to get those bonuses, and again, you want to get them at the plrshow.com/for now, that's going to take you to a bonus page. Once you get to the bonus page, you can look at the bonuses, click the button so that you can go through to the actual sales page. Right now, it'll take you to the sales page. And with that, I think that you are out of here early. And we are at 7:20. I don't like to hold you longer than 30 minutes, and that was pretty much all that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about some things that I kind of learned during the creation of this course. That these things may change, and but as of right now, there's some things that just don't work the way that they're supposed to. They may work that way in the future. We'll see. And I think that that's about it, everybody. I appreciate you all hanging out with me here. I just want to say, as I always do, I'd say the same thing to our Ultimate Insiders. I want to say this to you also. If you're here, you're watching this, I, on behalf of my family, we all appreciate you very much and appreciate you and your confidence in buying our PLR. And some of you all have been buying our PLR for years, and I'm deeply appreciative of your supporting us in that way, and we are going to support you right back so that you can build a recurring income. So that's the way this works. We release this stuff, for you to use, for you to build trust, and so we want to support you in that way. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me here. Appreciate you all. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.